With the mass career shakeups of the past couple years, you might have found yourself in a job that you're overqualified for. In this video, we're going to talk about what can you do about it and how can you move forward. Stay tuned. If you're feeling overqualified for your job, maybe you are taking on more responsibility than other coworkers, you are excelling in your position, you have years or even maybe decades of over kind of work that you've done over your coworkers at the same level, whatever the kind of indicators are that you are overqualified for your job, it can feel really stressful. It can be really kind of soul draining to feel like you're not moving up and you have the ability to. So in this video, we're gonna talk about what can you do, what are your options if you feel overqualified for a job that you currently have. The first thing that you wanna do is you wanna make sure that you don't panic. Usually if people are in this situation and they feel like they're overqualified, the first thing that they wanna do is knock on their boss's door and demand a pay raise, demand that they move up, and kind of take it head on. While that does work in some instances, a lot of times your supervisor, if you are overqualified for your job, your supervisor probably already knows that and they probably don't have a ton of ability to move you up currently. So it's up to you to kind of find the cracks, find the nuances of where you can excel and move up that way. So the very first thing that you want to do is just don't panic. It's not the worst thing in the world. You have options, you have the ability to move up. So let's jump into tip number 2. The second thing that you can do currently is look to what your organization does, find out what your gaps are, and actively put yourself in a position to improve your skills. So number 2 is improving your skills. The reason that you want to put yourself in a position where you're actively improving your skills if you're already overqualified is you want to start building the business case that you are constantly improving your skill set, and then you actually have a track record within your current organization of what you have done to improve. So if you come into a job, you're overqualified, the chances are that your organization might not agree with you. They might say, yeah, you're really good at your job, but you aren't really, you're not any better than anybody else. So if you can actively go through and improve your skills within the job that you're currently holding, you can take that to your supervisor when it comes time for performance reviews. You can say, these are the things that I have done to kind of set myself up for success in this organization, and use that as your business case. So that's tip number 2 is look to improve your skills within your company. Take that as a paper trail and use that as leverage when you have your performance review. The third tip is consider freelance opportunities. If you are overqualified for the job that you're currently holding and it doesn't, let's say it only takes you a couple hours a day, instead of full 8 hours, it takes you 3 hours to do, start building up a side business, start building up a thing that you can do in your free time to not only bring in more revenue, but also get you kind of thinking again and coming up with problem solving opportunities. Finding clients, being able to kind of help out and make more money that way is really, really fun. And it's really stimulating when you start trying to expand what you're currently doing every single day. There are a lot of opportunities if you don't want to build out a full business. If you just have some, let's say, skills, if they're creative skills, depending on whatever you want to do, there's a lot of websites and different platforms, I guess, that you can use to find clients, to find kind of position yourself. So Fiverr is one of them, and they aren't sponsoring this video at all, but Fiverr's a really good one that you can set up pretty easily and marketing your skill set in a way that's a very active marketplace. The fourth thing that you can do if you are overqualified for your job is to find out where your company is trending. Now, what do I mean by this? If we're looking at your holistic company, the chances are if you have been at your company, let's say for 6 months or a year, you know where your company is trending based on what the executive kind of strategy. A lot of executives like to tout their strategy in a town hall meeting or whatever, but they like to tell the organization where they're going. So they might be investing in, let's take Meta, for example. Meta for the longest time was investing in VR and AR. It's something that they say, okay, this is where we're investing all of our money. Not saying Meta specifically, but a lot of companies do that on a very smaller level. They might just have internal town hall meetings. If you can find out where your company is trending, you can actually start positioning yourself to take, let's say, classes in relation to that, to build out your skill set in relation to that. But a lot of times if a company is moving toward that direction, they're putting money behind it and they're putting people behind it. So they can actually, if you're overqualified for your current role, you see that a company is trending, your company is trending in this direction. You start building out your skill sets, talking to the people who are the decision makers in that space, and you're actively kind of building out your portfolio for whatever they're trying to do. Eventually, when they start hiring people or moving people into those positions, your name is going to be on the top of the list, or you at least can approach it and say, I have the skill sets that fit what you're looking for in this particular sector. So upward mobility opportunities through new trending opportunities or new trending areas is really huge, especially if you want to kind of make an internal pivot within your company. And the fifth thing that you can do if you are overqualified for your job is very simply to look for a new job. Now, if you are in a position where it's a little bit tough for you to find, let's say, work in your area, or you don't have the necessary skill sets to make that big step up, a lot of times you can find similar jobs to what you're doing, maybe so if you are, let's say, a product manager and you're not ready to be a product director, you could probably still be a senior product manager. So there's kind of those like halfway steps to the next role. If you're looking for a new job, a lot of jobs now are still requiring some people to come in. So you kind of are limited physically in your location, but there's also a new kind of economy where a lot of businesses are hiring people remote. It opens up your overall possibilities to being more than just dealing with your local city, dealing with your local kind of area. If you are able to work remote and you have the ability to manage a remote schedule. And the biggest thing here is just to remember that you're not trapped. You're not trapped in the role that you have. It's not going to last forever. I always have the saying where every job is temporary. If you think about it, you're not going to be at your company for 100 years until you die. It's going to be something where you're going to be able to make the shift eventually. You're going to be able to have the upward mobility eventually. It's just you need to be smart about how you navigate, because if you say I'm overqualified, you throw your hands up and you call it a day, you're not helping yourself and you're not helping your organization. So if you are feeling overqualified, it's up to you to make that navigation toward the next level, because there's a reason that you're overqualified and there's a reason that you're not at the next level. And it really comes down to your ability to find the nuance, find the crack that allows you to move up. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me know in the comments if there's other things that you want to add, other questions you have, any other tips that you want to add below. I'd love to hear from you. And if this video was helpful, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.